season, and I wanted to play college football, but it didn't look very realistic at that point because, I mean, I had a good season and everything, but like I had no offers at that point. So January wrestling season was pretty busy for me recruiting wise. I think I got six scholarship offers throughout that month and a half, to smaller schools, Division twos, and a couple NAIAs, and I think there was a D3 in there. Whitworth was in there. So I finished up wrestling season, and it was kind of funny. I was the varsity heavyweight, but I didn't wrestle in a single duel for my team because I was always traveling to schools on the weekends to do visits in January. And then I ended up committing to South Dakota School of Mines
Hmm.
in February, right there for National Signing Day. So that's kind of how that went. It was very slow until wrestling season or so.
Hmm. How did your football experience go back in high school?
In high school, it was really good. My freshman and sophomore year were good. I played like freshman football, and then my sophomore year was COVID, so it was
Hmm.
kind of weird. Like I was more focused on wrestling then, so I missed a couple games. Wait, was that my sophomore or junior year? I honestly can't even remember my sophomore and junior year too much, but I remember for sure my junior year was a shorter season, and I was sharing reps with a senior. So I was a junior, and there was a senior playing. So we were sharing reps. We only had like 6 games that year or something. And then senior year went really well, and then we had a good playoff run. Our senior year made it to the semifinals in Washington here, and yeah, it was really fun.
How long have you been playing football for?
I started in 7th grade, so I've been playing since then pretty much every year.
Hmm. Uh, Talk about like growing up in your hometown and getting to where you're at today.
So growing up here, it was good. It was. I remember it being smaller than it is now. Every time I come home, it's freaking way busier. It's almost like I have to add 2 minutes to my drive every time I come home for breaks or whatever because it's just so many people moving here and all of that. But growing up was really good. It's kind of funny. My dad wouldn't let me play football until I got to middle school because like the grid kids or the junior football league here, it was by weight. So I was always a big kid. I would have had to play with the older kids, and he didn't want me doing that. So I
Hmm.
just, was always thinking about football, and then got to play in middle school. But growing up, I played baseball and t-ball, and pretty much have always been in sports.
Hmm. Do you watch any other sports on television?
Not really, which is kind of funny. Everyone makes fun of me for it,
Hmm.
but during football season, we'll turn on the Sunday games and stuff if we're home because we travel. Division two is kind of tough on travel because we fly commercial. So we'll play a game Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and stay the night, and then we'll travel home on Sundays. So we'll catch the tail end of whatever game we can get in on a Sunday.
Hmm.
But that's about it.
What is your biggest strength and weakness on the football field?
On the football field, my biggest strength and weakness, I think my pass protection has been one of my strengths last season, especially. Like, I just felt like I was very comfortable in my pass sets. Um, and then my biggest weakness on the field, I've caught myself taking negative footwork a lot. So like I'll step and go nowhere, and then that just takes extra time and an extra step away when I could be taking positive footwork. So that's been one of my biggest areas of improvement going through spring ball this year.
What are your thoughts on how last season went for you guys?
Last year,
Yeah.
I thought it went really good. I was a little disappointed with how it ended. We made it to we won our conference, and then got a home playoff game, which was really cool. But we lost that playoff game at home, so it was a good season. It was a lot of fun. Put up a lot of points and scored a lot of touchdowns, and you know got a championship ring out of the conference. But I think everybody kind of felt disappointed in how we finished.
Did you have any experience playing any other sports growing up?
Yeah, yeah. So I played t-ball and baseball, and then like a little bit of wrestling when I was little. but I hated wrestling.
Hmm.
And then middle school, I played football, baseball, wrestling, and then I did basketball for a year. So I did all four sports that they offered, and I wasn't a huge fan of basketball. So when I got to high school, I stuck with wrestling and had a successful wrestling career. And football's taken me to where I am now.
Hmm. How did you find ways to pick the school that you chose?
So how did I find like decide to go there?
Yeah.
So my this is my third school actually. So my first one, when I went to South Dakota Mines, I just thought out of all the offers that I had, I kind of wanted to go away from home. So I went all the way to South Dakota, and it seemed like the program there was on the rise, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I went there, played for a season, and realized I didn't really like being far away from home. So transferred, and then I landed at University of Idaho, where I got to play with my cousin, and that was really fun. I enjoyed it there. And then um, from there, it was actually a really tough decision to transfer because like I liked it there, but I was a sophomore. Yeah, it was my sophomore year there. I spent like a year and a half there, and wasn't really like, I was second, third string that spring, so I was kind of like mixing my way into maybe traveling. And my brother was a high school senior, so he decided to come to Central Washington. So I was like, well, shoot, like I'll I'll see if I can go there. So I jumped in the portal and then ended up coming to Central. And since
Mhm.
then, it's been probably one of the best decisions that I've made.
How do you like the campus and stuff?
The campus is really cool. It's small, so
Hmm.
there's only like I don't even know how many students there are. I mean, it's a small state school, but the campus is really pretty. It's all super old,
Hmm.
and I want to say it was built in like 1881 or something like that. So a lot of the maybe it's 1891. So a lot of the campus buildings are historic buildings, and I love the off-campus part too. Like 45 minutes or so away is Cleellum and Roslyn, which is like a historic town there. And my family heritage kind of dates back to that area. So it's kind of cool. I like being in Ellensburg and going to school there and, all the stuff that you can do off campus as well.
Hmm. What type of classes are you taking?
So I'm studying to be a high school teacher. So it's kind of weird. I'm doing business and marketing education is what it's called. So I'll teach the career and tech ed classes like business, accounting. Some schools offer classes like fashion marketing or sports marketing and stuff like that. So those are the kind of classes that I'd be teaching. And I finished that up here in March.
Hmm.
So that's kind of going for my teaching certificate.
Hmm. What are some cool things to know about yourself?
About me, let's see. I'm a pretty average guy. I feel like I just like to hang out and
Hmm.
Um, I like to spend my time outside whenever I can. So, like, I taught myself growing up here. We have the Columbia River, and there's a bunch of ponds and stuff. So, I taught myself how to fish. And my dad grew up taking me hunting and stuff. So, or I grew up with my dad taking me out hunting. So that's kind of what I enjoy. And then even like in wintertime up there in Ellensburg, I'll just go drive around in the woods and see what I can see. It's just fun. I like being outside.
Hmm. Who in your family do you look up to and why?
I'd say probably my dad the most because both my mom and my dad were both first generation college students, but my dad played college football. So growing up, and one thing that I've learned to kind of admire from him is he never really talked about his athletic career to us very much. Like when we were growing up, he let us kind of write our own story and
Hmm.
never pushed, his stuff on us. So I feel like that was pretty admirable, and I'm following in his footsteps in a lot of the ways. He's also a high school teacher and coach. So yeah, I've been looking up to him quite a bit and using his advice lately.
Hmm. Uh, what what is the aspect of talking to coaches in the pros and whatever else? Like, since I know you're part of the NFL Draft Prospect list.
So I haven't really heard from anybody yet, but I've heard from a couple agents that have followed me or DM'd me, but I haven't really thought about it too much yet. Mainly because I just want to focus on having the best season that I can and train for a pro day after that, and
Hmm.
just kind of leave it all out there. I don't want to get distracted too much, especially being in a D2 school. Like I'm not going to get the big attention like maybe a Power Four school would, or even
Hmm.
FCS. So just setting goals for myself to have the best year that I can, and whatever happens after that happens.
Hmm. Who in your family do you look up to and why?
Probably my dad again, just because he played college football and he's coached ever since he got out of playing, and so he's just been kind of a big proponent
Hmm.
of my athletic career and like really pushed me when I didn't even realize he was pushing me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, I'd say him.
What is a typical day like for you during the off season?
During the off season. So let's see. I'll do winter first and then summer. So the winter time is probably my favorite time of year just because it's cold and I'm a big guy. And I like when it's a little chilly outside. But during the winter time, like this last winter, I had classes. So we'd like a typical Monday, like I would wake up and I'd have 7 a.m. weights. So I'd get up, work out, and then I'd shower and get to class and then do all my schoolwork. And I could knock out most of my schoolwork in classes by noon or 1 o'clock, which was kind of nice because then you have the rest of the afternoon off. And it's weird going from fall to winter because, like, in the fall, you're always busy. And then in the wintertime, there's just nothing to do. So, like, I started learning how to play the guitar this last winter. I was like, I don't even know what to do with my free time. And then we got a new coaching staff also. So I spent a lot of time in the office just interacting and being with the new coaches and learning, kind of what they want to install and, how things are going to be like, what are we going to run this year kind of a thing. So
Hmm.
spent a lot of time there. And then in the summertime, um, really busy just because it's the best time of year for us to work.
Hmm.
So like a job. So we have our workouts. We had it scheduled optional stuff. Whoever was in town, they had the weight room open. So we would go Monday through Thursday, and then after workout Thursday, I'd go to work, and we all work at, or a lot of the guys work at the Gorge Amphitheater, which
Hmm.
is out here. So we'd all get our lift in, and then we'd go work security at this concert venue on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then come back and do it all again on Sunday.
Hmm.
So pretty busy.
What current or former NFL player do you compare your game to?
Hmm. I haven't really thought about that too much. Our new coach just started. He wants us to start thinking about that question. I haven't thought about it too much. I've always kind of admired Jason Kelsey just because he was an undersized center, and I wouldn't consider myself necessarily under height, but um, definitely as an interior guy, he's fun to watch, and just how athletic he is, and his story is really cool. So that's always kind of been an inspiration to me, especially when I was at Idaho. I was a walk on there, and then I was playing a little bit of center on scout team and stuff. So I just liked watching his tape and how he moved and could do what he could do.
Hmm. Any hobbies you have?
Yeah, I really enjoy fishing, especially up there in Ellensburg. I've been so busy this summer, I haven't really gotten out,
Hmm.
but last summer I fished a lot up there, and it's the Yakima River flows through there, and there's like a resort on there for fly fishing. So there's a lot of people that come in and fish it, and it's a really good river. So I just would go out there and kill time or kill an afternoon and fly fish. And then I picked up the guitar. That's been fun, but that's been challenging.
Hmm. What makes you a unique player on the football field?
What makes me unique?
Yeah.
I would say probably my level headedness. Like, it's really easy to get tied up in the emotion of a game. And I feel like I'm always able to take a step back and read a situation a little bit better.
Hmm.
And I don't get myself caught on the emotional roller coaster, which I feel like can happen pretty easily. But I've just always been able to be like, okay, this is the situation, and then get the play call, and okay, this is what my footwork's going to be. This is what my aiming point is, and really be able to take control of my mind that way.
Hmm. Uh, what has been your favorite memory back in high school and at Central Washington?
My favorite memory from high school was probably during wrestling season. I won the state championship in my weight class my senior year, and that was just really fun because I never like my freshman year, I think I won one match
Hmm.
or like three or four matches. I like got my butt kicked all year long. My sophomore year was a little bit better, and then junior year was COVID, and then senior year I was able to do that, which that was probably the best moment of high school for me. And then at Central, in the moment it sucked, but looking back, it was really funny. We were playing. Who were we playing? We were playing Midwestern State, which is like almost in Omaha. It's like, almost in Nebraska, not Omaha.
Hmm.
It's like um, northern Texas, and we had like rain delays, and so we ended up finishing the game like 3 or 2 a.m. or midnight or something stupid. So we were sitting in the locker room for like hours, and it
Hmm.
was raining outside. And then we'd go back out and we'd warm up and we'd start the game. And then there was lightning, so we'd have to go back inside. And I think we went back inside probably twice. And it was just like it sucked, but looking back, it was pretty fun because we all just listened to music and hung out in the locker room, and we beat them, so it was fun. But we got back on the bus and we drove to Dallas from there, which is where our hotel was, and we were only in the hotel for like an hour before we had to leave the hotel to get our flight the next morning on Sunday to go back to Seattle. So it was, and it kind of sucked, but it's just like one of those stories. Is like we had this rain delay, we were in the hotel for an hour, and
Hmm.
then came home, but it was fun.
Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 4 years?
In the next 3 to 4 years, so I want to put myself in the best position I can to have the best senior year that I can. And I want to play professional football at some level. So whether that is the NFL or whether that's the CFL or another pro league, I just want to be able to have a pro career of some kind. And hopefully that lasts. And then after that, at whatever point, like let's say I train for a pro day and it just doesn't work out, I want to be a graduate assistant and
Hmm.
then get into coaching, whether that's after a pro career or if the pro career doesn't work out. I want to get into coaching and give back.
Hmm. How many hours a day do you take the time to watch film?
How many hours a week, or what was the question?
Uh, how many hours a day do you take the time to watch film?
A day. So
Yeah.
in season, I probably watch on my own an hour and a half a day, and then whatever we watch in meetings. And then in the off season, like in the wintertime, I went back and I watched all of our games probably 3 or 4 times because
Hmm.
I would sit and I was taking a history of music class, and whenever I would get bored in class, I'm not gonna lie, I would watch film. So I'd pull up my huddle and then I'd watch, whatever game and just look back on it. And then this year, since we got the new coaching staff, everything was new. So I watched probably, yeah, an hour and a half. I probably saw an hour and a half a day of just film from the last practice. What do I need to work on? What needs to look better? That
Hmm.
kind of thing.
Uh, I appreciate you for coming on tonight. I know
Yeah,
your
no
schedule,
problem.
I know your schedule is probably very busy, and I just appreciate every guest I have on, and
Yeah,
I wish you nothing but the best of luck this upcoming season, and I'll definitely stay in touch.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.